As a Man Thinketh by James Allen is a timeless self-help classic that explores the profound connection between thoughts and personal destiny. The book's central message is that a person's mind is the master builder of their character, circumstances, and future. Allen emphasizes that every thought, whether positive or negative, shapes actions, habits, and ultimately life outcomes. Through concise yet powerful passages, the book teaches readers that by cultivating pure, purposeful, and disciplined thinking, they can transform their lives, overcome challenges, and create success, happiness, and inner peace. James Allen, 1864 to 1912, was a British philosophical writer and pioneer in the self-help movement. Raised in a working-class family and having faced hardships early in life, Allen developed a strong interest in literature, philosophy, and spirituality. His writings focus on the power of thought, personal responsibility, and self-discipline as keys to achieving one's full potential. Though he published many works during his lifetime, As a Man Thinketh remains his most influential and enduring contribution, inspiring generations worldwide with its message of mental mastery and self-empowerment. James Allen's As a Man Thinketh opens with its central principle: a person is the sum of their thoughts. Every action, habit, and circumstance in life is first conceived in the mind. Thoughts are not passive or fleeting. They are creative forces that mold character, shape destiny, and determine one's experience of the world. The mind, Allen writes, is like a garden if cultivated with pure, purposeful, and disciplined. Thinking, it yields beauty and abundance. If neglected or filled with negative, harmful thoughts, it becomes overrun with weeds, producing unhappiness, failure, and strife. Allen emphasizes that thought and character are inseparably linked. A person cannot rise above the quality of their dominant thoughts, nor can they fall below them. A noble, kind, and courageous character is the result of sustained noble, kind, and courageous thinking. Conversely, a selfish, fearful, or corrupt mind inevitably leads to destructive actions and harmful consequences. This principle operates with the precision of a natural law, just as a seed planted in the soil will produce a corresponding plant. So too will thoughts produce their matching effects in life. The author dismantles the notion that circumstances are purely external forces outside of personal control. While external events do influence life, Allen asserts that they are largely shaped and attracted by the inner world of thought. A person who habitually cultivates resentment, laziness, or dishonesty cannot expect peace, success, or respect, because their thoughts continually guide their actions toward failure or conflict. Likewise, one who fosters integrity, perseverance, and clarity of purpose creates the conditions for happiness and progress. Circumstance, Allen argues, does not make the person, it reveals the person to themselves. The first section also touches on the law of cause and effect in mental life. Thoughts are the invisible seeds of action which, over time, form habits and ultimately shape destiny. Every great achievement began as an idea. Every downfall began as a thought tolerated or indulged in the mind. By recognizing this law, individuals gain profound personal responsibility. They can no longer blame fate, chance, or luck for their condition because they are the architects of their lives through thinking. Allen introduces the concept of mental mastery. To change one's life, one must first change their thoughts. This is not a matter of fleeting, positive thinking, but of deliberate, consistent cultivation of a pure, focused, and purposeful mind. By choosing thoughts wisely, one directs the forces of life toward harmony and success. Thoughts of doubt, fear, and envy must be uprooted like harmful weeds, replaced with thoughts of courage, faith, kindness, and strength. The section closes with a call to self-awareness. Many people drift through life unconscious of their habitual mental patterns, reacting to circumstances rather than understanding their role in creating them. Allen urges readers to awaken to the power of thought, realizing that every experience in life is a mirror, reflecting the quality of their inner world. To change the reflection, one must first change the cause, the thoughts that give rise to it. This opening principle lays the foundation for the rest of the book, offering a liberating yet challenging truth. You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. James Allen expands on the idea that a person's outer life is a direct manifestation of their inner thoughts. Character is not an accident of birth or circumstance, but the result of sustained thinking patterns. What a person continually dwells upon in their mind eventually shapes who they are. Thoughts become habits, habits form character, and character shapes destiny. This principle applies universally, whether one is aware of it or not, functioning like an immutable law of nature. Allen emphasizes that thought is the link between internal cause and external effect. The conditions of one's life, whether they involve success or failure, health or illness, peace or turmoil, are not arbitrary. They are drawn to the individual based on the dominant tendencies of their mind. A person who constantly entertains selfish, harmful, or resentful thoughts will inevitably create circumstances that reflect conflict, poverty, or suffering. Likewise, a mind that fosters honesty, generosity, diligence, and faith builds a foundation for prosperity, respect, and harmony. The world outside mirrors the world within. He rejects the idea of luck, fate, or chance as primary forces shaping human lives. While external events can be unpredictable, how a person responds and what they attract is largely determined by the mental environment they have cultivated. A man who lives with discipline, integrity, and vision naturally prepares himself for opportunities and draws positive influences. Conversely, someone who indulges in idleness, anger, or fear closes doors and attracts unfavorable situations. Thus, thought not only shapes personal character, but also acts as a magnet for one's circumstances. Allen describes the mind as a master weaver, continuously spinning the fabric of life from the threads of thought. Every decision, action, and habit arises first in the invisible realm of ideas. Repeated thoughts, whether positive or negative, sink deep into the subconscious and govern behavior almost automatically. Over time, they crystallize into reality-building health or disease, success or failure, joy or misery. Another key concept in this section is responsibility for suffering and happiness. Allen argues that a person is not the victim of an unjust universe, but of their own thinking errors. Hatred, bitterness, dishonesty, and fear poison the mind and inevitably create painful conditions. Conversely, thoughts of love, honesty, faith, and kindness elevate the mind and produce harmony. Even when misfortunes seem external, they often serve as a mirror reflecting inner states or past patterns of thought that have not yet been purified. The author encourages self-examination and mental discipline. To change circumstances, one must first change the thoughts that create them. This requires vigilant awareness of the mental seeds being planted daily, whether they are seeds of doubt, envy, and despair, or seeds of courage, purpose, and goodwill. The disciplined mind aligns with universal law, producing desirable outcomes naturally and without struggle. Allen also touches on the quiet power of good thoughts. Noble, unselfish thinking may not yield instant results, but over time it builds an unshakable character that no external hardship can destroy. True success is not mere wealth or power, but the peace of a mind that is pure and aligned with higher principles. Such a mind draws favorable circumstances, relationships, and opportunities, shaping a life of meaning and contentment. This section reinforces the central theme. A person does not simply have a life, they make it through thought. Every circumstance, whether pleasant or harsh, is a stepping stone leading to growth or decline, determined by the mental patterns chosen and nurtured over time. The key to freedom and progress lies in consciously directing thoughts to align with truth, virtue, and purpose. James Allen explores how thoughts not only shape character and circumstances, but also exert a profound influence on the body, health, and overall life purpose. The mind, he argues, governs every aspect of existence, extending its power beyond external events to the very state of one's physical well-being and sense of direction in life. Allen begins by asserting that the body is the servant of the mind. The physical state is not independent of mental habits, but is deeply intertwined with them. Positive, serene, and constructive thoughts promote vitality, energy, and resilience, whereas negative, anxious, or harmful thoughts generate tension, fatigue, and disease. Mental unrest often manifests as physical ailments, demonstrating that the body responds faithfully to the emotional and intellectual atmosphere created within the mind. For example, prolonged anger or resentment can weaken the immune system and burden the body with stress, while calm and cheerful thinking encourages health and longevity. Allen is careful to acknowledge that not every illness is purely mental, but he maintains that many health problems stem from mental disharmony, and a disciplined, positive mind greatly enhances the body's natural strength and healing capacity. The relationship is not one of mystical magic, but of natural law. The mind directs the body's energy, influencing both wellness and weakness. He extends this principle to external success and purpose, stating that a strong, focused, and well-directed mind naturally organizes life toward its chosen ends. Thoughts act like guiding forces, shaping ambition and attracting the necessary circumstances to fulfill a purpose. Just as weeds choke a garden, scattered or impure thinking obstructs personal progress. Conversely, a person who consistently cultivates thoughts of determination, clarity, and noble intent channels their energy toward meaningful achievement. Allen emphasizes the necessity of purpose in life. Aimless thought produces aimless action, leading to frustration and stagnation. By forming a definite, worthy purpose and aligning thoughts with it daily, an individual draws upon inner strength and external opportunities to manifest their goal. Purpose acts as a compass, giving direction to thoughts and turning fleeting desires into sustained effort and results. Moreover, the author explores the link between thought, serenity, and self-control. A mind agitated by doubt, fear, or selfish craving not only disturbs the spirit, but also disrupts the body's balance. Calm, disciplined thought creates harmony between mind and body, leading to peace of mind, graceful action, and good health. This inner calm radiates outward, influencing relationships and one's entire environment. Allen cautions that merely wishing for health, success, or happiness is not enough. Desire without disciplined thought is powerless. One must consistently sow thoughts aligned with truth, virtue, and purpose, tending to them with patience and self-control until they mature into reality. This mental cultivation demands effort but promises transformation, elevating both the body and the broader life experience. Ultimately, this section teaches that thought is the foundation of both physical vitality and purposeful living. By mastering one's inner world, a person aligns their health, habits, and destiny with harmony and success, demonstrating the far-reaching power of the mind over every aspect of existence. In this part of As a Man Thinketh, James Allen explores the transformative power of disciplined thought in creating real success, enduring peace of mind, and what he calls true wealth. Unlike material riches, which can be fleeting and often hollow, true wealth is the abundance of a balanced mind, good character, and a life aligned with purpose and virtue. Allen begins by emphasizing that success is not the result of luck or circumstance, but the natural outcome of focused and right thinking. Every great accomplishment begins as a seed in the mind, nurtured by persistence, clarity, and unwavering faith in one's goal. Success is the expression of law, not chance. It is achieved by those who consistently think thoughts that harmonize with their ambitions, excluding fear, doubt, and laziness. A person who habitually entertains failure-oriented thoughts cannot expect to rise above them, for actions inevitably follow the direction of mental patterns. He contrasts two types of wealth: material wealth without principle and spiritual wealth with substance. Material wealth gained through selfish or dishonest means often leads to anxiety, insecurity, and conflict. Such wealth is unstable because it rests on flawed thinking. True wealth, on the other hand, arises from thoughts of integrity, generosity, and purpose. It is not measured solely in money, but in peace of mind, good health, strong relationships, and freedom from destructive emotions like envy or greed. The mind that builds this form of wealth does not hoard or manipulate, but gives, serves, and contributes, drawing abundance naturally and ethically. The author introduces serenity as a crown of self-mastery. A serene person is not free from challenges, but remains calm and composed amid them. This tranquility is the result of long-held thoughts of patience, forgiveness, understanding, and unwavering principle. A mind that is frequently agitated by anger, resentment, or fear cannot experience peace, no matter the external situation. Serenity is earned through mental discipline, replacing harmful thoughts with those aligned with truth and compassion until peace becomes a natural state. Allen further explains that the universe responds to the vibrations of thought. People attract not only circumstances but also opportunities and relationships that match their dominant mental state. A person who lives with faith, determination, and honesty creates conditions where success can flourish. By contrast, thoughts of deceit, selfish ambition, or doubt build a shaky foundation that eventually collapses under its own weight. He warns against the illusion of shortcuts to success. Every enduring achievement is built on effort, persistence, and purity of thought. Thoughts must precede action, and action must align with universal principles of justice, honesty, and goodwill. Those who disregard this law may experience temporary gains, but ultimately face loss and dissatisfaction because their inner life does not support their outer structure. Finally, Allen redefines true wealth as harmony with life's higher laws. The richest person is not necessarily the one with the largest bank account, but the one who lives in mental freedom, purpose, and peace, untouched by fear, hatred, or vice. This state of abundance is accessible to anyone who cultivates right thought, regardless of external conditions, proving that the key to prosperity lies not in possessions, but in the mind's ability to create, give, and live rightly. In the final part of As a Man Thinketh, James Allen takes his philosophy beyond success and external achievement, presenting self-mastery and spiritual awakening as the highest fruits of disciplined thought. This section reveals that the true purpose of controlling the mind is not merely to gain comfort or prosperity, but to rise to a higher plane of understanding, harmony, and inner freedom. Allen begins by reaffirming that a person is their own master, not through force or domination of others, but through mastery of their own thoughts and emotions. The untrained mind is like a ship tossed about by every wind of circumstance, reacting to life's difficulties with fear, anger, or despair. The trained mind, on the other hand, remains steady, choosing responses consciously and directing energy toward virtue, wisdom, and growth. This mastery is not attained overnight, but is the result of persistent self-observation, correction of harmful thoughts, and cultivation of noble ones. He explains that thoughts determine destiny on a spiritual level, just as they do in the physical and social realms. Every thought carries energy that influences not only one's actions and environment, but also the deeper quality of the soul. Pure, loving, and unselfish thinking elevates consciousness, bringing one closer to truth and universal harmony. Negative or base thinking keeps a person chained to lower experiences of suffering, conflict, and ignorance. Self-mastery leads naturally to spiritual serenity, a state where the mind is no longer enslaved by cravings, fears, or hatred. In this condition, a person sees life clearly, free from illusion and ego-driven impulses. They understand that challenges and hardships are not punishments but opportunities for learning and purification. The wise individual accepts responsibility for every aspect of their life, knowing that thought is the root cause and that change is always possible through inner transformation. Allen emphasizes personal responsibility as a divine law. No one can think for another or live another's life. While external guidance and teaching can help, ultimate growth comes only when a person consciously governs their own mind. Blaming fate, society, or other people keeps one bound to ignorance. Recognizing oneself as the creator of experience opens the path to freedom. He concludes with a vision of life aligned with higher principles. A person who masters their mind and lives by thoughts of love, honesty, courage, and compassion not only transforms their own destiny, but also contributes to the upliftment of others. Their presence radiates peace and strength, inspiring positive change in those around them. Such a person becomes a channel for truth and goodness, living in harmony with universal law and enjoying deep spiritual fulfillment. Ultimately, As a Man Thinketh is not just a guide to external success, but a manual for self-realization. It calls on readers to rise above unconscious thinking, to actively shape their character and life, and to awaken to the truth that thought is the seed of all creation. Through patient discipline and unwavering faith in the power of the mind, one can attain mastery over self, harmony with life's laws, and a profound connection to the divine essence within. Thank you for joining me on this journey through As a Man Thinketh, a powerful reminder that our thoughts truly shape who we are and the lives we create. If this summary inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a mindful read. Keep nurturing your mind, stay curious, and remember, mastery over your thoughts is the path to freedom and peace. Until next time, stay mindful and keep growing.